What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Here we go. Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that, friend. And of course, that's right. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the absolutely daily, sometimes twice, maybe even thrice daily show here on the channel where I reflect on what's being said about Chelsea, give you my opinion on it. More importantly, mate, asking for yours. It's popping off. We've got the here we go for Raheem Sterling moving to Chelsea. And his medical is booked in London. We can expect great things. We'll go over that. A couple of things to talk about and how Thomas Tuchel was vital in the Man City attacker choosing to sign with Chelsea, of Nathan Ake to follow for perhaps not crazy money, and Deco to reopen talks with Chelsea as Raphinha could still come to Chelsea. And we could have an excellent transfer window still. If you watched my last video, I explained how Thomas Tuchel is getting his targets, or at least Chelsea Football Club are trying to get his targets. Todd Bowley, Clearlake and gang. Hugely positive, friends. Thank you for joining me. Please do drop a like if you want to show some support, and you're all welcome to subscribe, and should you choose to do so, I would recommend hitting that bell notifications icon so you get my reaction, the chat's reaction, or the comment section's reaction to the news as it comes. I'm just quickly going to reference something Cy Phillips has tweeted on Twitter because he has got good information, and he has said, I am told Raheem Sterling is just the start of Chelsea's good recruitment this summer. Should be worth the wait. The floodgates have opened, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we've got the here we go from Fabrizio Romano. You know what? I'm going to credit David Ornstein. He published this first. There's an online joke going around that, Fabrizio Romano might be a little bit of a tap-in merchant. Obviously not true. He's a great journalist. But yeah, David Ornstein deserves a massive amount of respect. He gets to a lot of these stories first. Raheem Sterling, Chelsea agree £47.5 million deal with Man City. That is an excellent deal. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, yes, he's only got a year left on his deal. And yes, he has been, not always first choice, but he's a consistent footballer that always delivers, that's entering his prime, and a change could initiate an elevation in performances, despite him being very, very good already. Chelsea got about £160 million all in for Eden Hazard, who had 1 year left on his deal. I'm not saying Sterling's Eden Hazard, but that is like nearly 4 times as much as what we're paying when they both have a year left on this deal. And Hazard was older when we sold him. He was like 28, he wasn't 27. This is a good deal. Make no bones about it. Enjoy it. Breathe it in. Even if you can't get super excited about the player, you just think it's a sensible signing, accept and grasp and embrace the fact how it's a great deal. Let's read this article from The Athletic. It's very, very quick from David Ornstein. Just for context on the story, Chelsea have reached an agreement with Man City to sign Raheem Sterling in a deal worth £47.5 million. The Athletic understands. The 27-year-old has already agreed personal terms on a 5-year contract with an option of a further 12 months. So that will be seeing him till he's 32 years old, and us possibly triggering another year till he's 33, if he's still in shape, but I imagine he would be. Though Sterling has played a lot of football in his career since he was very young, and there is still that perception of burnout, like potentially, Wayne Rooney style or whatever. Chelsea are now working through the logistics of scheduling a medical in London. If all goes to plan, Sterling will join his new Chelsea teammates, on their pre-season tour. In the United States, Sterling has already spoken to Chelsea manager Thomas Tuchel about what life is like at the club, and has thought the England international was impressed with the German coach's vision for the club. In Sterling's 7 years at City, he scored 131 goals in 339 appearances. That's very good for a winger. And obviously got a bunch of assists as well for the reigning Premier League champions. He joined from Liverpool for £44 million. Alright, so pause there. £44 million City paid for him. They're selling him in his prime for like the same amount of money after he's won 4 league titles. Again, the contract thing, but it's a good, 4 league titles, an FA Cup, and 3 league cups. It's just, it's pretty darn good, of course. And this article goes on to talk about, the arrival of Erling Haaland, etc., and why he wants game time. But a new challenge. Remember, Raheem Sterling is a London boy. And he can be more of the main man here. Why not, you know? I'm going to jump over to courtoffside.com and read you some quotes from Fabrizio Romano now, talking about this deal. So, quote, "The announcement for Raheem Sterling at Chelsea will come just after the medical tests in London, which have been scheduled. He signed until 2027 with an option of a further year, as we just explained. Sterling has been a top target for the Blues for some time now, quite interestingly. The club started working on this deal just before the Champions League final, with direct contact with intermediaries at the end of May." This is really interesting. So it's been going on a while, you know, perhaps longer than a lot of us thought. Thomas Tuchel has insisted a lot on this signing. He's really, really wanted him because he considers Sterling a perfect player for his tactical ideas and the style of play of Chelsea. Many of us, for the attacking, we don't know what that is yet, apart from wing-backs and chill. Tuchel has had more than a direct contact with Raheem and was highly influential in persuading the player. It's been reported that he's actually spoken to Raheem Sterling a few times. Thomas Tuchel got on the blower like, "All right, Raheem, come on, Raz. I've got great plans for you. Come on down to SW6. Let's cook, brother," etc., etc. Romana adds here, "I don't know yet if Sterling will be a like-for-like replacement for Romelu Lukaku. In my opinion, he's more of a winger than a striker, but I expect he will be much better fit for Tuchel's side than the departing Belgian." True. And what I think as well is he can play down the middle. He's obviously done like a lot of false nine work for Manchester City. He'd probably suit that role at Chelsea as well, sort of floating around the box and, you know, working hard and pressing from the front, etc. Though I think probably he will start mainly out wide. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe Tuchel's got on the phone to him, and in these negotiations, in these like conversations where he's convinced him to join Chelsea, he says, "Look, man, do you know everyone wants to be a striker? Strikers are cool, right? Maybe not at Chelsea. Maybe you'd be like, oh, I don't want to be a striker at Chelsea. I know what happens then." But maybe he's like, you know, "Yeah, you're a great winger, but what if, you know, it's get you scoring goals? Scoring goals is sexy. I think I can play you down the middle." Of course, Kai Havertz probably starts, but it's most likely that there's sort of an interchanging front three. Personally, I think Thomas Tuchel would love to have that sort of Liverpool front three of a few years ago where they just sort of all mix and match and score a lot of goals together. I don't know that yet. I feel like the wingbacks will be integral to make spaces for the forwards again so they can start scoring goals, because when, you know, Chilwell and James were absent, really did I don't think the forwards had as good a time, you know, in their absence. Who knows? Maybe he'll play down the middle. Maybe he'll play off the left. We'll see what happens. There's, of course, a lot of talk about Callum Hudson-Odoi's return and his rehabilitation from his injuries that he was going through and how he's feeling good now and doing a lot of training. So, you know, all bets are off for the pre-season, man. Who knows who's going to impress the coach? And, you know, we might see some serious movements and new stuff. So we'll talk about for Raphinha and Deco in just a moment. Staying on big Fabrizio Romano, I'm going to read his tweet about Nathan Ake. Actually, you know, pause quickly. I just want to quickly remind you guys about Raheem Sterling. You know, we put a bow on this, but let's look at his stats. This is what you're getting from a wide attacker. Granted, it's playing for City, but this is his best attributes on his scouting report. You know, he's in the top 1% for expected goals, non-penalty expected goals, non-penalty expected goals and shots. He doesn't pass out of bounds. He's in the top 2% for touches in the attacking penalty area, and then of course, you know, non-penalty XG and expected assists, top 3%. Look at this, like lots of offensive stuff. Even though he misses some chances, so does Mohamed Salah. Do you know what I mean? Loads of top goal scorers like miss chances. Even if he doesn't get, you know, if he gets a few less goals at Chelsea than he does at Man City, he'll still be a massive asset for us. And, you know, he'll be a very useful footballer on the pitch in terms of working very hard and knowing the system and being very athletic and fit. It's a good signing. So let's move on. Hold on. Let's talk about Nathan Ake from Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea and Man City will be in contact again in the coming days to negotiate the Nathan Ake deal after Sterling. Man City have been clear with Chelsea. They want almost the same fee paid in August, around £41 million. Ake has full agreement with Chelsea on personal terms. Right, this deal is completely separate to Raheem Sterling. They didn't want to do a double deal complications. They wanted to make two separate deals. Chelsea want Nathan Ake. More notably, Thomas Tuchel really wants Nathan Ake. This is one of his targets. He's wanted him since Dortmund. You know, if you're playing football therapy bingo and we repeat certain things, drink now. Yeah, he's wanted him since Dortmund. Ake probably, again, I think suits Chelsea better than he suits Man City in terms of positional versatility and back three, wing back, left centre back. He can advance. We looked at his stats yesterday or the day before. Absolutely incredible in terms of fit, like advancing into the midfield in that left centre back role like Antonio Rudiger did. He's not a big sexy European signing. He's another sensible signing that knows the Premier League very well. Again, if you go across social media, you look at what the City fans are saying, a lot of them are very frustrated that Nathan Ake is going because he came in and played very, very well, and all the City fans felt completely safe with him. Whereas a lot of them feel frustrated with Sterling. I think Sterling needed a change, and I do believe he will progress at Chelsea. But Nathan Ake, they're frustrated to see him go. Of course, he's also 27 in his prime. I spoke about this on Matisse's channel. He quite rightly said he doesn't think this is the kind of player that will block the development of Levi Colwill. Ake is 27 and is ultimately a senior player, even though he's not old. Levi Colwill is still a teenager. He's 19. There's an 8-year or 9-year difference, whatever it is. 8 years, Jesus Christ. There's the best part of a decade difference in age. So I think this is a good signing, and the versatility is important, I think, for Nathan Ake. Right, let's move on and talk about Raphinha. Yes, that's right. Another Tommy? Just went Brommy there. Another Tommy Tuchel target. Another Thomas Tuchel target. Jumping over to the Metro and seeing what they're saying here. Deco threatens to open or reopen Chelsea talks after setting Barcelona Raphinha deadline. Dun, dun, dun. Raphinha's agent Deco has given Barcelona 48 hours, and this was yesterday, by the way. So maybe 24 hours now? I don't know, less. To agree a deal with Leeds, or he will reopen talks with Chelsea. The Brazilian international has made no secret privately of his desire to join the Catalan Giants, despite significant interest from the Blues and Arsenal as well. Arsenal thought they had them. We thought we had them afterwards. We laughed, and then he wanted Barcelona, and everyone lost. Chelsea appeared to be in pole position to sign the 25-year-old when they agreed a fee with Leeds. It just looked like the reports were like, yeah, Chelsea have agreed a transfer for Raphinha, and when you read that, you're like, we've signed Raphinha. But the player has been desperately holding out for a move for cash-strapped Barcelona. Barcelona, who have sold the name of the stadium to the Spotify Camp Nou. Barcelona, who have sold a quarter of their TV license for the next quarter century. And they've sold like 49% of their marketing something. They're basically selling themselves off. The Catalan Giants submitted a fresh offer earlier this week, understood to be around £47 million, but it still fell short of Leeds' asking price and Chelsea's most recent bid. Frustrated at the situation, having reached a deadlock, Deco and former Chelsea, he played for both Chelsea and Barcelona, wants a resolution one way or another by the start of the week, according to Goal Brazil. Meanwhile, Raphinha has not been selected in Leeds' pre-season tour, and the club's manager Jesse Marsh revealed this week that the winger's situation could be sorted out imminently. Addressing Raphinha's future, Marsh said, "It hasn't been an easy time for him this summer. Things have come and gone, and there's been a lot of little discussions. Right now, he's our player. He showed up today and trained with everyone. He's had such a good attitude. We have a very open and honest conversation about while he's here, he's part of us and see what happens. There's still a long way to go in the transfer window. I know he has hopes and dreams. We'll see how everything goes. I said to him, I know he loves the team, this club, and being here, but we'll see how things progress. We'll have to wait and see," Jesse Marsh says. He wants to go to Barcelona, but I think if he can't go to Barcelona, he will sign for Chelsea. I think we have to not be precious about this. He's not going to come to Chelsea and just not play hard, not work hard, not play well, because he's like, well, I'll play better if I played for Barcelona. No, he's a professional and wants to play as good as, as well as he can. And, this is what professional footballers do. Again, if you're playing bingo, I'm going to reiterate something I said in previous videos. I think if you said to Eden Hazard, you can either sign for Real Madrid or Chelsea when he was younger, he would go to Real Madrid. We mustn't take offence. These are big, old clubs. Barcelona is a prestigious, the Camp Nou, prestigious club. He grow up dreaming of it. Chelsea's still a massive opportunity for him, and I'm sure if he can't go to Barcelona, he will consider Chelsea. But if we sign him, this is excellent business, because he fits the idea, he fits the plan. This is what we're moving towards. Yes, money's being spent, maybe not on these big, exciting European players that maybe I or you originally wanted, but this is what Thomas Tuchel wants. And this is what he believes he needs to win football matches and perform at the highest level. Looking at all the analysis, all the data from his body of work at Chelsea, the 18 months in both Europe and, of course, more importantly at this stage, the Premier League. What do I need? What have we been missing? What's our weaknesses? This, and this. Get me Sterling, Ake, and Raphinha if you can, and then more probably will follow. It's exciting times. Let me know what you think, though. Comment down below. Let's start up a conversation. Thank you for all the lovely messages you guys have been giving me down there. It's very kind of you. I appreciate all of you. Remember to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and all that tings. And yeah, man, see you very soon. Keep it locked. Peace.